Hi, welcome to Micah and thanks for joining me for today's video all about believing in yourself and developing thick skin. This video is for Isaac, who requested it in the comments a couple of weeks ago to make more videos about being brave and challenging yourself to the next level, and I believe one of the sort of ways you can do that is to develop thick skin and believe in yourself, and that'll then let you be more brave and challenge yourself to all the other levels that you need to go to. I was actually reminded of the importance of this topic in videos like this just over this weekend when I was over in Buffalo, New York, and I happened to get talking to this really lovely lady and her husband at one of the outside patio cafes, and she happened to be a theatre school teacher, and she had been teaching theatre school for almost all her life. And she also has a son who's also in theatre and is an acclaimed theatre actor and based in Portland, Oregon. And one of the things that she mentioned that she felt was the most important thing for an actor in today's day and age is how to handle rejection. So I was actually reminded of this kind of video topic as I was researching and looking through it a couple of weeks ago, just over the weekend. So as soon as I got back, I was like, I'm filming this. So that was just a bit of that. But yeah, the importance of developing thick skin and believing in yourself is definitely a way to be brave and then challenge yourself to the next level. It's really important to develop thick skin and believe in yourself only because in this industry there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of rejections, there is a lot of sort of setbacks, and things can be slow, things can be fast, but a lot of the times there's a lot of hard work that you have to put in. You've got to work hard, you've got to work really hard, and there's so much competition sometimes, and it's quite easy to kind of get caught up in the rejections, caught up in sometimes the slow periods, and caught up in just how intimidating it can be with everybody else there, and kind of almost doubt yourself and doubt your own skills, and almost think to yourself and take things on a personal level, which kind of does affect your ability to then, you know, go to the next auditions and how you're performing in other roles and how you even approach those roles and how you can present and carry yourself and the kind of vibe you give off. Whether you give that kind of sort of desperate defeat kind of look, if you give that, you know, I'm confident in who I am, I like this role, if this role's for me, you know, perfect, I'm going to get this. Otherwise, if it doesn't, it's okay, there's plenty of other roles. I believe one of the most important steps in believing in yourself, first and foremost, is to accept yourself. Accept yourself and who you are, and accept that this is what you come like, and just be comfortable in your own skin. Only if you're comfortable in your own skin and accept who you are with all your quirkinesses and all your weirdness and all your coolness, that's the only way that you're then going to be able to present yourself confidently to everybody else, whether that be in auditions or whether that be in roles that you do. And it's easier said than done to just believe in yourself and, like, you know, just be comfortable in your own skin. It's not a thing that I believe you just wake up one day and you are. It's a process. It's something that you work towards by becoming more confident. And you get more confident by doing more auditions, doing more roles, and as you get more achievements, then that kind of gives you the confidence as well. But I believe one of the first foremost things is just to get comfortable in your own skin, and that's going to help you believe in yourself. So regardless of what anybody else says, regardless of what anybody else thinks, you're comfortable in your own skin, you know who you are, you accept yourself, you really are not concerned with anybody else. A quote that my brother actually mentioned to me a couple of weeks ago that comes into my mind right now is, "A lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep." And I do like that, because if you're a lion and you're strong and ferocious as a lion and determined and focused as a lion to go out and do what you want to do, you're not going to be concerned, and he's not concerned with the opinion of sheep. And what I mean by that is no offense to anybody or anything like that, but it's just, you're not going to pay attention to just random other people who are going to deride you or make you feel any less good about yourself or question yourself or doubt yourself or your abilities or your skills or your acting or anything like that. Those kind of things you just don't need to listen to. So just accepting yourself. And one of the things that I read in one of the interviews by Stephen Amell, who's in Arrow, the Canadian actor, was he kind of got to a point where he was getting roles, getting auditions, had an agent, but before he kind of having a different level of success in his career was when he just thought, you know what, forget it. He got comfortable in his own skin, this is who I am, this is how I am, and he just went over for it, and just, he wasn't so self-conscious after that. And he said usually he'd go to agents after audition and be like, how was that, how was that, how was that? And when he realised that, when he stopped doing that, because he just thought, you know what, forget it, this is who I am, I accept how I am, they like it, good. That's when, after that realization, he had the next sort of step in his career, the next sort of level of success. So I believe the first and foremost thing is just to accept yourself, believe in yourself, and whether you do that by affirmations, or whether you do that by visualization, where you kind of see yourself as that confident person, or whatever it is that you want to be like. I believe if that's how you want to do it, that's how you do it. But just believe in yourself and just kind of accept yourself for who you are, and just be comfortable in your own skin. And again, it's easier said than done. It's more of a process, but it's a process that we all need to get started on about like 10 months ago. Leading on from this, another important thing that I believe in sort of developing that thick skin and just believing in yourself is not to listen to the haters, so to speak. All those who are negative, who do deride you or make you question, doubt your abilities, your skills, your acting power, anything else that makes you feel less comfortable for who you are and what you can do. Don't listen to them. And the thing is though, like, okay, I feel like I have to explain only because when there's constructive criticism, that of course we have to be all ears, and it's better to take that because that always lets you improve. So it's not, we have to make a difference between constructive criticism, constructive feedback, and just negative criticism, judgments, all that other kind of stuff on the other hand. But as far as constructive criticism, constructive feedback is concerned, that's really important in developing thick skin, because that's going to help you take in the constructive criticism and things that you need to work on, and that's going to then help you improve your skills and your acting and get you in a more better position when you go out for auditions and go out for roles. I've had constructive feedback and criticism from several of my acting studios that I've been to, and I appreciate that and I love that, because I want to go into a class and come out and I want to leave thinking this is what I've got to work on, or this is what I'm good at, I should really try and improve on this. I'm not going to tell you the kind of things they say to me because that's all personal and that's things that I need to work on. But constructive criticism and constructive feedback is something that we should be open to, we should listen to, and that kind of criticism and feedback can come from your acting coaches, from the classes that you take to, maybe even the peers that you have in your acting class, or trusted actor friends as well. And it can also come from maybe agents or agent feedback that you have, or other auditions that you get, and you're lucky enough to get feedback from the casting director or the agent. That kind of feedback is things that you can take and you can sort of maybe work on and consider to try and improve upon, so you're not making the same mistakes again. But when it comes to criticism, from other people who maybe don't have your best interest in heart, that's stuff that you just need to shake off and let it go. For example, a tennis player is not going to get advice, it is not going to listen to criticism or any kind of, feedback or anything from somebody who's a football player, because they are two completely different things. And likewise, a swimmer is not going to get advice and feedback and all that kind of thing from somebody who plays, who plays tennis, or who's something else. Or just because it's a completely different thing. If you're going to take criticism, you take it from, or constructive feedback, you take it from the person who's maybe, your acting coach, your acting peers in that field, who has your best interest in heart and wants to see you grow as an actor. Another great way to develop thick skin and believe in yourself is to have a list of your achievements in front of you where you can see them. Your previous achievements, whether they are acting related or non-acting related, your achievements, your accomplishments, your successes, have those listed, whether it be on a big billboard type thing in your room, or a big poster, or big bullet points, even in a book that you look at daily. And having a list of your previous accomplishments, your previous successes and achievements is a great way to keep you motivated that, hey, if I could do all this, I can definitely do all these as well. And it keeps you motivated to do more things. And as you start doing more things, that list, those bullet points get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's kind of like a cycle where the more you do, the more you put on there, and the more you then believe in yourself, and the more you believe in your own success and achievements, you can then continue and step out for the next ones. So this is something that I do and I have always done. Even before I got into acting as much as I wanted to, and I had really sort of less experience, I put on my other achievements that I felt were important for me. For example, my traveling, or for example, my languages. I love learning languages. I put that on there. I have a law degree, my undergraduate, so I put that on there as well. There were many different things that were non-acting related at the time, because I didn't have the acting experience and I didn't have that much to kind of go off where I've got this and I've got that in acting, where I can motivate myself to go further. So that was one thing that I did. And then I realized as time went by, the more auditions I did, the more classes I took, that kind of grew and grew and grew. So my list of achievements that I kept for my own personal lives, for myself, that kept growing to include other things that made me believe I could do other things. And that was things, a couple of short films I was lucky to be in, a web series I was lucky to be in. I had a fantastic sort of audition with a really, really reputable agent here in Toronto, which Though I didn't get in, I had a very, very good interview with great feedback at the end of it, which I was so lucky to get. And that's, again, that's an achievement as well. Success is not success itself, it's also taking action, and that's success regardless of the outcome. So for me, that was just something that I put on my achievement thing. And again, that list keeps growing, and the more you look at that, the more you keep that in front of you, the more you kind of believe in yourself and your ability to not only have accomplished all this, but also to accomplish everything else that you want to do. And before you know it, that's going to go increase and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it kind of helps kind of build yourself and believe in yourself. And when you have rejections, or when you have a no from somewhere, or you do have something that comes your way that makes you doubt, you can look at that list of achievements and be like, no, actually I did A, B, C, D, and E all the way up to Z. I can totally do this. And leading on from that, it's also just generally keeping your goals, your dreams, or whatever it is that you want to do in front of you, where you can see it, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your desktop, on your laptop, whether it be on your wall, on a book, or something like that. Just keep it in front of you to always remind you that that's what you're working up towards. And one other thing that I would add is to kind of develop thick skin and believe in yourself. You've also just got to surround yourself by positivity, surround yourself by positive people, positive peers who are in that group and that interest field that you want to do. And also just to be reading a book, for example, read a bit of a book, 20 minutes every morning, that's a positive book that makes you feel positive, that helps you, that encourages and builds you up. And also, for example, listen to motivational messages or podcasts. 1 or 2 in the mornings as you get ready, just again to build you up, to kind of keep you encouraged and keep you motivated. And another thing that I would also recommend is there are many Hollywood celebrities, many famous people, loads that you would also look into, and some that you didn't even know, that have all these kind of extraordinary success stories where they kind of went through hardships and where they went through all these rejections only to get successful and become who they are today, that we know of today. And that wasn't an easy thing, that wasn't an overnight thing, there's a lot of hard work in that. So even your favourite actors, your favourite actresses, just Google them, Wikipedia them, IMDb them as well, and just kind of see the kind of things that they've done, how they started out. And you know what, maybe keep a note of things that resonate with you, the kind of ones that resonate with you, that really touch you. And that also will keep you motivated. When you're watching a new show that's come out, maybe research some of the actors that are in there. And most often than not, you'll realise that a lot of them have had to work so hard to get to where they are. It wasn't an overnight thing. Even though on the world stage, they might seem to be an overnight person where they don't have, they have relatively few credits before, but now they're in this show. But even before that, they would have had so many, maybe smaller credits, or just years under the surface before they hit the surface that we then saw and thought, oh my god, it's an overnight person. But even if you research or just look into some of the actors and some of the shows that you watch, the new shows that you watch, it's somebody that you come across or see on TV, you'd be surprised to know their extraordinary story, and that will motivate you and inspire you as well and keep you inspired. And that's something that I try to do regularly, and something that I believe you should also do regularly too, just to keep you inspired and motivated and encouraged that, hey, you're not the only one going through this, you're not the only one who's having to develop thick skin. Believe in yourself and handle, hardships, criticism, rejections and all that kind of thing. People have done it for that, and if you persevere, you will get that, and it's all about persistence. So I googled some examples of famous celebrities and successful people who have been through so many obstacles and hardships, who had to develop thick skin in order for them to become the celebrities and in order for them to become the success people that we know of today. One of the ones that I saw, a great one that really inspired me, was Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn, one of the legendary classical Hollywood actresses, in her early days when she moved to New York City and she was trying to get into acting, she joined theatre after theatre, and during those 4 or 5 years, she would keep getting fired from one theatre, and then she would go to another theatre, she'd get fired from there, she'd go to another theatre, for whatever reason she'd be sort of getting fired, and she'd go into a theatre after theatre, and all the time still taking classes with voice coaches and other movement ones to keep herself improving. And she was told by some that, I've got it written on there, some postcards over here, just so I've got it in front of me, but she was told by one director at one of the theatres that she was fired at that, you have no talent. She went and joined another one, and she really liked it. It's a Broadway show. She thought that could be something that's going to make her big, and she liked the role, but then she got let go from that too. And when she pressed them to, why did you let me go? And the director for that said, to be brutally frank with you, you weren't that good. So even she had to develop that thick skin in those early days, 4 or 5 years of rejection after rejection, to continue and make it after that, where she then got a show that led to bigger things, and that's when her success started. But if she had just given up back then, we would not have known her right now. And even right now, for example, she's one of the most successful legendary Hollywood actresses. She has 12 Oscars, 12 Oscar nominations for Best Actresses. She won 4 Oscars for Best Actress as well, and numerous other awards and accolades. And also in 1999, she was also named by the American Film Institute as the greatest female star of classical Hollywood cinema. And again, that's somebody who went through so much rejection only to become a legendary actress. Today. And other examples I got was, for example, Dame Judi Dench, who was dismissed by a director in the early days when she auditioned for a movie at the beginning of her career, and they just said, "I'm sorry, you just won't ever make it." What was it? "I'm sorry, you won't ever make a film." And that was for whatever reason, but being told that by a director that you won't ever make a film or you just won't be good in front of the TV, that's something that is hard not to take personal, and that's something that Dame Judi Dench has also said. But obviously now, look, we know she's very accomplished, and she's got an Oscar, she's got over, I think it was 6 BAFTAs, such a success, and very accomplished. So even they had to develop thick skin. And I've just got random examples of other people. Harrison Ford, he was told that you're never going to make it in the business, and that he was told by a studio boss, only he's still success, and he's still making successful films now. So there's other people as well. For example, even Oprah, when she was fired as a news anchor in Baltimore in the early days in the 1980s, and she was told, she emotionally invested in the stories, and she was told that she's unfit for TV news. But then we also know she went on to have one of the best daytime talk shows for over 25 years, such a success, and I think her net worth is like billions. So it's just one of those things where even they had to develop thick skin. And again, there are examples after examples. You have the singer Shakira. She was, I read that she was deemed so bad at acting or singing, she wasn't even allowed to join school choir. And her music teacher said she sounds like a goat, but she ended up selling over 60 million albums worldwide. And then you've got even just general people, even Einstein. He had many different achievements now, including the Nobel Prize, but he was told in a report by his head of his school in Munich that he will never amount to anything. And again, that's just something that people just say, and they just judge and deride and put people down. But you've then got to have the thick skin to just, not even prove them wrong, but do it for yourself because you know you can do it. And Stephen King, he faced 30 rejections before he finally had his first book published. And one thing, just going back, something that Einstein actually said later on in life, in regards to things like this and developing thick skin, it's such a beautiful, fantastic quote. And it says, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." I'm just going to read that again. "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." We shouldn't listen to just random naysayers or the haters or those who want to just judge and criticize, who don't have your best interests at heart. Never let anybody tell you you can't do it. Even in this industry of acting where there is so much competition, where there is so much rejection as well, you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to just develop that thick skin that you know what, you can do it, you have something to offer, and that you are a success, and that you are going to get there. And yeah, these were just random examples that I googled and I found. You can Google so many more as well, and it's just examples of many famous successful Hollywood actors, actresses, famous successful people. I also read somewhere Van Gogh, during his lifetime, he wasn't very acclaimed. He only sold 1 painting during his lifetime, and even that was to his friend at a small price. Only after he died did his paintings and his artwork get more acclaimed. And that's Van Gogh. And the thing is, there are many, many different celebrities and famous people who didn't get to the success that we know of them today until they actually faced severe rejection, criticism. Even another one's coming to mind, Elvis Presley, before he was the Elvis that everybody knows, and he performed in one of the bars that he did, he was told by the club owner, you know what, you should just go back to driving trucks because you can't do this. And even he now then became Elvis Presley. So it's just one of those things where developing thick skin, believing in yourself, you have to believe in yourself, and at least some of the ways that I've highlighted in this video in terms of accepting yourself and just being comfortable in your own skin, always keeping your previous accomplishments and achievements in front of you where you can see them to motivate yourself and encourage yourself, and also just having your dreams, goals and ambitions all listed in front of you where you can see them all the time, reading something regularly to build yourself up and keep yourself encouraged and motivated, and also listening to motivational podcasts, researching and looking into your favourite actors, your favourite artists, and learning from their them, and maybe some of their stories resonate with you, and using that to inspire you and keep going. I hope all of this does kind of give you a couple of ideas to kind of believe in yourself that much more, because in this industry where there's a lot of rejections, and as I said, the theatre teacher who I met just over the weekend said, one of the main things you've got to deal with is rejection, and you've got to stop letting that to kind of determine how you approach acting and determine how you feel about it. I mean, even me, I've had several auditions and several agent auditions. Sometimes they don't always pan out the way you want, but you know what? You keep going. This is what we do. This is our passion. This is what gets us up in the morning, and this is what we are going to keep doing. So develop that thick skin, and that's going to get you brave enough, and that's going to challenge you to take on more challenges. So I feel that video got a little deep, or a little serious, or at least I think I may have looked a little serious, only because it is such an important topic, it's such an important thing, and it's something that we all go through, we all doubt ourselves, we all do, but you know what, you've just got to shake it up and keep going. So I really hope this video has given you a couple of ideas of how to believe in yourself and develop that thick skin, and also just some encouragement and inspiration and motivation that, you know what, whatever obstacles and hardships that you face in your career as an actor, or even whatever career that it is, that you still are determined, you still are persistent to keep going, knock on it, you break that door down, you just keep going, and you believe in yourself. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Do follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And also just share this video with other people that you think may find it interesting or may find it encouraging. And again, thank you so much for watching as well. And if you have any ideas or any feedback or any comments, please do put this on the video. I do like reading about them, and I definitely do learn from them and take them on board too. So please do leave a comment as well. I'm being Micah, and you be you.